Welcome. I am Barry Kerzin, and I'm a scholar in residence at this World Heritage Site, Fallingwater, one of the most beautiful places on the earth. Now, we're going to try to slowly emerge from a dark hole where we've been for the last 15, 16 months. It's been an incredibly difficult time for all of us. Some of us haven't survived. Others have lost our loved ones, our dear friends. Others have been sick and survived. And still others have been sick and haven't fully survived, haven't fully recovered. They've had this long haul situation where they're still sick. We've been emotionally thrown around constantly, sucked in, spit out. I've felt like I've been put in one of those old-fashioned washing machines with the top loaders. You know, you get spun around this way and then you get spun around that way. I've been churned up a lot. And I think a lot of us have those same feelings. And now, at least in America, things are looking better. And we're beginning now, in some places in America, to lift many of the restrictions. If we've been vaccinated, we don't have to wear our mask. We don't have to social distance when we're with other vaccinated people. And we're told to kind of go back to your normal life. But we don't feel like we're able to go back to our normal life. We're still hurting. We've experienced tremendous trauma. We could almost say this is now a post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD-like situation for many of us. So how can we be gentle with ourselves? How can we come out of that stress and that trauma to have a more happy, productive, meaningful life? So we're going to talk about 3 meditations that will help us ease the transition from that trauma into something that's more balanced, that's more wholesome, that's more meaningful, and more joyous. And so the first meditation is called 9-round breathing. And we're going to sit with our back straight, and our eyes will be open or closed for this one. You can choose. If your eyes are open, glance down like this. And what we're going to do is breathe 3 times in the right nostril, out the left nostril. 3 times in the left nostril, out the right nostril. And 3 times in both nostrils, and out both nostrils. You move your finger to the other side only when you're breathing out. Only when you're breathing out. That's when you move your finger. Okay. So let me demonstrate for you, and then we'll do it together and I'll guide you. So you take your right index finger, cross over, block your left nostril with your nail, and you take a slow, deep breath in your right nostril. Cross over, breathe out. Breathe in. 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 Cross over, breathe out. Hands on the knees, breathe in. and breathe out. In and out. That'll be done 3 times. So I went through it quickly just to give you a demonstration, and now we'll do it together, and I'll guide you. I'll talk like I did just then and tell you what to do. Basically, we're taking slow, deep breaths, but don't kill yourself, you know, comfortable, slow, deep breaths. Let's do it together. Please take your right index finger, cross it over, and block your left nostril with the nail. Take a slow, deep breath in, right nostril. Change your finger and blow out. In. Change your finger and 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 out. Hands down, in. And out. In. And out. In. And out. And please rest. Notice I didn't count, so you can do less or more, depending on what you feel you need and what time you have. When we change the finger, it's when we're breathing out, no other time. And what this does is it helps balance not only our breath, but underneath the breath is riding a more subtle energy. It helps balance that energy. And when we balance the energy, because the energy, which is kind of part of our body, our subtle body, and our mind, they're very closely interconnected. So when we balance the energies, we also balance the mind. And so most people, when they do this, they right away feel settled. That fear, that anxiety, that stress immediately just kind of reduces for most people. So you can do it when you're feeling really anxious, really stressed, fearful. You can also do it if you're going to meditate and you feel your mind is just kind of going nuts. You can sit down and do the 9-round breathing, calm your mind, calm your energies, calm your mind, and then sit and do your meditation. Now let's do a second meditation. And that meditation is a very standard one, probably one of the most common ones in the world. In Pali and in Sanskrit, we call it shamatha. In English, we have different names. Basically, it's concentration meditation. Sometimes it's called calm abiding. Sometimes it's called shine, which is Tibetan for calm abiding. And all of these are concentration meditation. And what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate our mind at this place, right between the upper lip and the nose. We're going to focus our attention there. Now, we're probably going to get distracted because our minds are not that stable. If we do get distracted, then our job is to first recognize, oh, I'm distracted, And then second, bring your mind back to focus here at the base of the nose. And you may have to do that many times. Don't worry about that. That's actually meditation. It's training the mind to be less distracted. We will sit with our backs straight. We can put our hands with the left hand down and the right with the palm up, and the left hand on top with the palm up, and our thumbs together like this. And then we just drop that into our lap, keep our back straight, relax our shoulders. We usually do this with the eyes open. If we're looking around, then we're going to get very distracted. So what we do, without dropping the head, keep the head up, but we look down in front of us, maybe a yard or a yard and a half, whatever it's comfortable, but we do it with a soft gaze. A soft gaze means not to stare. So if you're doing this in your home or somewhere where you have control of the environment, you can put something down that's plain, not a lot of design and color, so that's less likely to grab your eyes. So soft gaze, eyes half open like this, mouth closed. And then we're now going to breathe just normally through our nose. These will not be long, slow breaths, just normal breaths through our nose. And we'll keep our attention here. So let's do it together for a few minutes. Please meditate. And please stop your meditation. Good. So this meditation is a foundation meditation. It's something that we can do every morning, every day. It's good to have if you can, have a place that's reasonably quiet. You may not have a quiet place, but reasonably quiet, that you can kind of designate for your spot to meditate. You can sit on a cushion. If you do, have a second cushion under your bum. It helps raise your spine, making it straight. If you're more comfortable in a chair, use a chair. No problem. Do it every day. what I do and what most people do who meditate regularly, you get up out of bed, you go use the washroom, use the toilet, wash your face, brush your teeth, and then you go sit. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe more if you're comfortable. Try not to push. But this is a very good meditation to do every day, and slowly your mind will become less distracted. There'll be less clutter, less chatter. The mind will be more clear. You'll find more joy. Now this probably won't happen overnight, okay? So you have to do it regularly. You have to train in it. We're training our minds to be more focused. During COVID, we've been scattered. Even though we've been isolated, we've been on all kinds of devices, our computer, our phone, our this and our that, and often going simultaneously, and our minds go from one to the next. So we've become very distracted also. And this is a means of helping us heal from that trauma of being through the 15 or 16 months of COVID, to help settle our minds and make them more concentrated, less distracted, and therefore more clear. Now I'd like to do a third meditation with you, which is all about compassion. Now compassion has kind of a two-way street. We can have compassion for others, of course. We can also have compassion for ourselves. And in the last 15, 16 months, most of us have not done a good job of practicing self-compassion. Now for many of us, we've not done a good job all of our lives practicing self-compassion. So it's high time that we practice self-compassion, but we also practice compassion for others. So what we can do is we can imagine the last destructive emotion that we've had. Maybe we're having it right now. I feel angry. I feel jealous. I'm really self-critical, or I'm really critical of others, or I'm feeling really puffed up arrogant, or often I'm feeling really deflated. I'm putting myself down. So remember, if you're not having one of those now, remember the last time, maybe a few moments ago, that you had one of those, what I call destructive emotions, because they destroy our inner peace and our happiness. Remember that feeling and try to recreate it if you can. And then remember that you're not alone. Let's say I'm feeling angry, or a few minutes ago I was feeling kind of angry. Remember that of the 7 or 8 billion people in the world, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 billion people are feeling angry right now with you, or recently were feeling angry. So what I'd like you to do, when we breathe, we're going to, as we breathe out, we're going to fill every one of those 2 or 3 billion people, including ourselves, with everything that we need to reduce and eliminate anger. Number one, kindness towards ourself. So that's going to go, that kindness will go out to everyone so they can feel kindness to themselves. Number two, we can begin to recognize there's always something behind anger. Try to understand what the situation is so that each of those 2 billion people and yourself will begin to understand that behind the anger is not feeling happy. We're kind of blown out of the water because of economic situations, health situations, relationship situations. So send whatever would be needed to heal those difficult relationships, difficult economic situation, difficult health situations, and also send it to yourself. And so that's what we're going to do. And you can send this out in terms of light. It can be blue healing light. It can be rainbow light, which is very joyous. It can also be white light, which is very beautiful. Or you don't have to use any light at all. It's your choice. On the in-breath, what you're going to do is take away all of that anger from all those 2 billion people. You're not really going to bring it into you, but you're going to take it out of everyone and take it out of yourself as you're taking your in-breath. So to recap, As you breathe out, you're going to send light or maybe no light. And on that is going to ride all of these healing methods: kindness, understanding, feeling patient. Even gratitude and forgiveness often are wonderful healers. Send them out as you breathe out to everyone, particularly those 2 billion people and yourself. And then when you breathe in, you take away all the pain of everyone. Just take it out of them, and then it just goes up somewhere, you know. Notice this is a type of both compassion for others and compassion for ourselves. So let's practice that for a few minutes. Again, we'll sit as we did before, with the left palm up and the right palm on top, up, the thumbs together and relaxed in your lap. We'll be having our mouth closed, head will be straight, eyes will be open, looking down, somewhere in front of us, a meter or a yard or something, whatever's comfortable, with a soft gaze, try not to stare. Sometimes that takes practice, don't worry about it. And we're going to take now normal breaths. We're not going to take long, slow breaths. Just breathe normally through your nose. And what we're going to imagine as we take the in-breath, that we're taking all the pain out of everyone. That anger, or that self-criticism, or that arrogance, or that jealousy, or that kind of putting others down, putting ourselves down. We're going to liberate all that from everyone, including ourselves, as we breathe in. Then as we breathe out, we're going to fill everyone with whatever they need. If they have anger, we're going to fill them with, recognizing that when anyone is angry, there's reasons for that, and we'll try to understand what's behind that. It may be some problems in a relationship, some problems, as we said, financial or health. So give them all that, and give it to yourself too, as you breathe out. So we'll do this together for a few minutes. Please go ahead and meditate. And please stop your meditation. Wonderful. You can try to feel that everyone, including yourself, is getting rid of some of those negative emotions and feeling a little bit more joy, self-confidence, and happiness. Now, these three meditations to help us come out of this dark period of COVID pandemic for a year, almost and a half, these were designed to help us harmonize, to balance. Now, the intention from the middle 1930s, when Fallingwater was built, until today being managed by the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy for the public to come and spend time here. The intent has always been to harmonize nature with our lives. So these three meditations are in that same kind of harmony, to harmonize nature with our lives. And in that way, we actually harmonize ourselves with falling water. Thank you.